Well, hello there, stranger. It is
Hi.
so good to see you again. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's good to be seen. Good to be here.
Understood, understood. My, it's kind of like where do we start? Because it's been a while.
Yeah. How long has it
I,
been?
I don't know. I really have to look back on that. And dare I? I can't say a year. I don't think it's been that long.
No,
I think it's over 6 months though. I think it's
yes,
over.
probably.
So I tell you what. To make it fair for you, why don't you tell people what's been going on with you during this hiatus, if you will?
Let's see. If I could remember where we stopped, I could be a lot more accurate. But I would just say if I had to sum up where I've been and what I've been doing,
Mhm.
I have been trying to just continue in my business and making things make sense. SENTS. Wait, no. SENSE and CENTS. Excuse me. Not sense like a smell. So it's CENTS. Yeah, let me spell that right.
Gotcha.
Um, and that is hard, for all my entrepreneurs out there. As you know, entrepreneurship is not for the weak at heart. And it ebbs and it flows. And, when it's ebbing, it's hard. And so just trying to just kind of balance my business and business growth and then, my kids, but then have like some time for quality of life. I call myself starting doctoral school and I quickly realized it was not where I needed to be. Maybe not even the right timing, but certainly I wasn't in the right program. And so I just been kind of just figuring things out. Probably have been a resident in my head, if I be honest. I've been in my head a lot. And so, yeah, that's where I've been, Troy.
I got you. Now, for those who don't know, we lovingly call her Doc Z, and it's been a name. I don't think we created it, but it's something that we definitely ran with ever since because we love and believe in you and we appreciate what you do for the community. In the stance of your business, how have you expanded since then? Have you increased in more areas, opened up new facilities?
Um, so I think we had four last time I was on. Clearwater was our most recent expansion.
Hmm.
But we've increased with our partnerships. We've partnered with the Skills Center, which is in Tampa.
Hmm.
Um, where else have we partnered? Can't remember, but yeah, we are certainly growing. I've grown in staff, so I've gotten more therapists. 'Cause
Nice.
yeah, that's the beautiful thing about my company. It just kind of organically, of course, I have to put in efforts, but it organically grows. And I think that's how you know when something is for you or you're called to it because it grows without you. Like
Right.
your yes is enough for it to do what it needs to do. Um,
Mm.
so sometimes I feel like God just requires us to say yes and show up, and then He works behind the scenes, and it flourishes despite where we are in our
Right.
in the situation or in our lives. Like sometimes we just have to say yes. And when we see it grow and just be great despite how we feel about it or how we feel about ourselves, that's kind of how you know you're in the right place. Yeah.
I agree so heartily. This vision of Blast wasn't even mine. I just believed in the vision. And because of me believing in the vision, whatever skill set I had started to make it blossom. And the thing that I love is being able to help, no matter the color, no matter your gender, whatever, but to be here to help independent artists gain exposure. In your situation, especially us being people of color, I did not build Blast on the basis to help Black people. I built Blast to help people. What is your philosophy in that for your company as well?
Yeah, although we are a minority owned company,
Right.
that is full of diversity, which gives it gives people of color a place to go and feel validated and feel related to. Um, like no, hands down, me being a Black therapist and having Black therapists that work for me certainly has a huge space, you
Most
know,
definitely.
in our community, in my community. But I wasn't just called to Black people. Like I'm called to help all people, all people who are in need or who are hurting. And so I don't discriminate, but at the same time, I certainly take advantage of my privilege, with being a woman of color and the way I'm able to relate to people who are also of color in my community. Yeah.
What type of barriers did you have to break to help, especially Black families, to seek mental health?
Convince them that it's okay. Convince them that they didn't have to be crazy in order to get help. Convince them that them holding on to pride and ego was just going to keep them and their family stuck. Yep.
Your phrase that me and my friend hold dear, our secrets keep us sick or help us. Rephrase that for me again.
Our secrets keep us sick. I wish I could say it was mine. I just don't know where I found it or heard it. But yeah, our secrets keep us sick. Yep.
As I was telling you about the surgery I'm about to get for my thyroid, I was telling my mom that, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I got mine removed. I never knew."
Yeah.
And that generation, they didn't talk, they didn't share. And I got 2 kids of my own, and I'm wanting to share with them, not to promote fear, but just to let them know.
Yeah, that's good. I often celebrate when people like not expose themselves, but are transparent about their stuff or their struggle. Like, even when they're in counseling with me, I celebrate the fact that, they can be honest and vulnerable and transparent, especially my Black men. Because I know that's not easy. Even when it comes to, and I don't know why this came to my mind, but even, my trauma story, I never gave my family an opportunity to help me or to love me a certain way or even more protect me because I chose not to share what happened to me, and so they didn't get a chance to show up for me in a way maybe they could have. They didn't get a chance to protect me in a way maybe they could have. And so when like other people or other children have the courage to come out and share their story, that is one thing that I just really love on them about or for and celebrate. Like, wow, you're the fact that you can come out and share this says something about you and your strength alone,
I agree. This year has been a year of kind of like exposing the truth, not necessarily I guess in some cases there have been people calling out people, if you will, but I'm just starting to see the light being turned on things, like things that
Mhm.
were hidden are now being, you got to deal with this. You need
Mhm.
to make a decision to no longer let this keep taking advantage of you. And
Yeah.
I've been feeling better about that. I don't have a problem with, just saying, "Hey, I have a problem," but it's like we have to do better.
Yeah. I mean, look at what we call cancel culture, right? Like
Hmm.
they exposing people left and right, from the Diddy's to the Weinsteins to TD Jakes to like so on and so forth. And it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, we all have our stuff, that we're not proud of, that we rather not share. And so I'm not saying go out and share your stuff, but
Right.
at the same time, um, if there are things that you're doing that is not right, it will catch up with you. Sad but true. I can attest to that for my own personal life. And if there are things that you're experiencing that are not healthy, it will catch up to you. And so, like, yeah, it seeps out in some kind of way. And we don't want people telling our story for us.
That part.
Yeah, I don't want anybody telling my story for me.
Because it's going to be colored a lot worse than you confessing it or being honest. Even the good book tells you to confess your faults one to another. Now, I add an asterisk to that. Even the Bible itself says to not cast your pearls among swine. So you don't just share all your business with
That's
anybody,
that's the word, Troy.
but
Hmm.
someone that's going to not only you can confide in, but encourage, hold you accountable, even. And that's what I've been feeling. I mean, granted, my lady helps me, you know, keep me accountable and motivate me to do better. We
Hmm.
help each other to do better.
Hmm.
But to have like a father figure for you men to tell you, boy, you're doing wrong. You need someone to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Yes, men, not going to cut it anymore. You need people to tell you you're going the wrong direction.
Yeah. Yep. Or that's not the best way to do it, or there's a better way to do it, or hey, I see you and oh no, you good, like it's yeah, we need that iron sharpens iron. But
Yes,
if we around people that are kind of like us or stuck in the same areas we're stuck, it's hard to call out an area in somebody that you aren't able to call out in yourself.
true.
So, sometimes we got to be refined around finer people, so to speak.
And then that becomes another decision too. Is the people around you keeping you down or are they lifting you up? You got to take an inventory of who's talking to you, who's feeding your soul, who's
Yeah.
feeding you.
That's true. I mean, that's true. Like I've been in this weird season of like, I don't even know what to call it. I would say loneliness, or maybe it's more so like isolation. Like I went
Hmm.
through periods where I was just really, I was like, Lord, I want friends. Like I know a lot of people. Um, I have people who we call each other friends, but I don't hang out with a lot of people. And a lot of my friends are married or just kind of living their own lives and busy for whatever reason. We're kind of like ships in the night, but I found
Hmm.
myself wanting more connection, just
Mm.
wanting more connection, but yet I'm still an isolator. Like I'm like, I want connection, but I'll still go out and do a whole bunch of stuff by myself. Or I'll be in a space with people and I'd be weird and don't want to talk. Like I want connection, but I want to connect. Like I want it under my conditions. And so, the Bible says, if you want friends, show thyself friendly or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, right. And so I don't know. I'm in this weird space between wanting connection but not wanting to connect. And I don't know what I'm saying. So weird.
Spoken like a true controlling introvert.
Is that what it is? Oh my gosh, I'm an omnivert. Remember, am I ambivert or omnivert? One or the
It's
other.
one of the two. Yeah,
Yep.
I need to see the complete breakdown of that because I had a debate about. no, you're not an introvert because you talk on podcasts. I'm like, that has nothing to do with it.
Nope. You
When
just
it's
do what
my
you gotta do.
when it's my me time,
Yes.
I'm
That is
good
me.
by
That is
myself.
that is me, Troy. And so I'm working. I was like, man, I'm working on being less weird.
Well, at the same token, I can't necessarily say you're weird. I have a good cousin of mine. She has a business helping strategies for other businesses. But she explained to me the power of her introvertism, if that's a word.
Introversion.
Introversion, thank you. She was saying that I have set amount of, let's say, fuel to give to people outside of me.
Mm-hmm.
Once that fuel is depleted, I'm done. And it's not just, you know, temperaments or tolerance. My energy, everything is done. So she wants to be home. She wants to be in her favorite PJs. She
Mm-hmm.
wants nobody.
Yep.
So, wow.
Yeah, that's I connect exactly with that sentiment for sure. Okay, so I looked it up, right? So an ambivert, they say they balance introversion and extroversion simultaneously, making them not seem overly introverted or extroverted. So when they need to be extroverted, they can be extroverted. When they need to
Okay.
be introverted, they can be introverted.
Okay.
However, an omnivert behavior is extremely situational, causing them to be either super introverted or extremely introverted. Let me see for an example.
I'm gonna
So,
need something in between those two.
yeah, me too. Okay, so some traits of an omnivert may include changing moods quickly and being temperamental, check. Exhibiting inconsistent, erratic, or varied behavior, check. Displaying different traits with different people, check, check. And changing moods as their traits change. So, omnivert is temperamental and almost moody. Ambivert just rises to the occasion and shows up to be what they need to be.
I don't think I'm a moody guy. I don't think I am. I gotta ask
Okay, I am.
the lady. I don't think I am. So I guess ambivert would be the one.
Yeah, you're probably more of an ambivert. I'm an omnivert for sure because I'm a moody woman and my moods change. And if I feel like being the life of the party, I'm the life of the party. If I don't feel like talking, I am just quiet.
Wow.
Lord help.
Hmm. Wow. Thank you for that explanation. I did not learn something new this Sunday.
Right. For all y'all out there who want to know if you're ambivert or ambivert.
And it's funny. There's going to be more titles coming because that's just a smidget, and then there'll be something broken off from that. So
Right.
it
Exactly.
is what it is. So, what I have noticed as of lately is definitely a rise in people battling with depression.
Mm-hmm.
People that I know personally, and I could definitely say for those who don't know what depression is, definitely have empathy for those that do experience it daily. And in that same having empathy, check on your people. Two
Yeah.
words. You good?
Yeah.
They just need that interaction, and you'd be surprised. We've heard from people, and I say we, I'm talking about members of Blast. We've heard from people who said, if you didn't intervene, if you didn't call me, if you didn't reach out, I would have da 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 da.
Hmm.
We're living in such a world that people are hurting, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't know any other exit but hurting themselves.
Yeah.
What do you grasp on some of this stuff that's going on with people in depression?
I mean, I think like that's that sense of feeling disconnected. Like we kind of talked about that. I kind of shared. I've been feeling, to be in a crowd or a room full of people, but still feel disconnected
Mm-hmm.
from people. And people, people who commit suicide just don't want to suffer anymore. They just don't want to be in pain, or they're just exhausted with their
Mm-hmm.
life experiences.
Right.
Um, you know, you know, I can relate, when I battle with my thoughts of just, why am I here? Like, is it worth it? And the sad part with what I've seen with certain people of that, how can I say this? People who come to terms with their suicidality are almost like they feel like, you know what, like I'm okay with my decision. Like, they found peace in their decision of
Mhm.
no longer living in non-peaceful living. You know what I'm saying? Like they find peace in their decision, and that's how they could see you one day and be smiling and laughing, and the next day be gone. Taking their own life because they found peace on the time and the place, and how they're gonna do it. But in regards to depression, it's just that lingering feeling of sadness or feeling disconnected
Yeah.
to where you just don't want to do the things that you normally do, or that you, whether you enjoyed it or whether you had to do it, work or school or whatever, and almost feeling like no matter what you try, you keep finding yourself in this place of sadness. um,
Mm.
and I think people are depressed for many reasons. People are biologically depressed, people are situationally depressed, people are feeling lonely, isolated, and disconnected, which is leading to feeling depressed or sadness. um, but yeah, and I don't know what will make it better. I don't know what will make it better, but there are resources and there are people out there, that can support and help. Like for me, like I have my therapist, but going to church, like I was honestly, like I was struggling in my thoughts last night, and I was just like, Lord, like I'm kind of over this life you got for me. And I went to church today feeling that same way. And
Wow.
it's like every time I go feeling something, God shows up with a word that encourages me. And so whether, it's the mosque or it's meditation, yoga, whatever it is that restores you, do it in your lowest moments, because you don't feel like doing anything. So you can't let feelings dictate what you do or how you get connected to feel better. And so when you're in your lowest, it's kind of like when we need to tap into our resources, tap into the things we know actually work, because if not, it only gets worse, and we only go deeper down that hole.
Man. And I know the world in itself, by checking the news, is there's nothing to really encourage us on, and you really have to encourage yourself
Yeah.
and find your means. Um,
Mhm.
Alrighty. So, with all these businesses you have, and you're trying to, are you going back to school, or are you still going to wait on?
I mean, I'm looking into it. I said I'm not gonna tell nobody this time because
Maybe
just in
that
case
was
it
it,
don't work
right?
out again.
Yeah.
It's like a relationship. Don't I'm not putting it on social media yet, just in case it don't work out. I'm just kidding. But I want to. I really do. I just don't know if it's the right season for it, like the right time. I know I could be impulsive, my little ADHD self, and I could be like, oh, this is a good idea. I want to do it, and just jump right in and do it. Right. And then I'm like, okay, was it the right time to do it? Like, was I even supposed to be doing this? So, I want to go back to school. I just got to make sure it's the right time. And because I enjoy my me time, Troy, like,
Mm.
I enjoy like a Sunday, like today, to where I don't have any responsibilities. I
Right.
enjoy Saturday to where like I just don't have any responsibilities. And this theme of day of rest has been coming up a lot, like around me. I don't know if you've been hearing it, but day of rest, day of rest, day of rest. And I think the scripture I either read today or yesterday was talking about, oh, it's today. It was just saying, the day of rest is ordained by God for us to just take a break and disconnect and just be restored. Um, but it also is like a faith and a trust thing, because some of us have the mentality, I need to work, 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 or I need to stay busy to X, Y, and Z, either to pay bills, either to feel important, or if I don't do it, nobody else is, or I gotta do it to carry it out, right? We have that mentality. But taking time to rest means that I am allowing myself to disconnect and trust that it's gonna work out.
Mm-hmm.
Trust I don't have to be busy or on the scene or always present in order to be relevant, right? Like knowing it's gonna work out and I can relax in that for at least one day.
In my case, it's kind of like I battle FOMO, the fear of missing out. And it's like,
Mm.
I don't,
Woo! That's
I
what
don't,
it's called, FOMO.
fear of missing out. Yes.
Oh,
And in my situation, because of me trying to build a company,
yeah.
and we're in our 4th year and we still ain't seen no money yet, I'm like, it's gonna come, but I'm keeping that persistence engine going.
Yes.
So those that are close to me that love me, they're like, you need to learn how to shut it down. I mean, shoot, I got 2 phones.
I got 2 phones. Me too.
Yep.
And look
So
at
it's
us on a Sunday. We blasting on a Sunday.
yeah. But we're here giving back to the community, so that don't count.
It does count. It does count. How many community activists and preachers are burnt out because they feel like their calling or this benevolent spirit they have is more important than their quality of life.
That is right.
Yeah.
Very true.
It counts because like your quality of life matters. But I know this is something you enjoy and like you are naturally, Troy, you are naturally an encourager. You have the gift of what do we call it?
Exhort.
Yes, exhortation, exhortation, whatever. Yes, you are an exhorter. And I'm only here right now. Well, I only started Mindful Over Matters, and I'm only here today, June 23rd at 3 p.m. because you won't let me go. You know, you check in, you're patient, you're not pushy too much. You know, and so like that's naturally what you do, and there is such a place for you, and I appreciate it, and I'm sure a lot of other people appreciate it. But I just want to make sure that you also recognize that part of that you deserve to be taken care of in a sense of by you taking care of you.
I have 21 years of caregiving.
Wow.
And in that 21 years of caregiving someone, there was no day off. So that's a motor I'm learning to, how do I shut that off? I don't need to caregive anymore, but I'm still in that caregiving mode.
That's who you are. That's your personality. Life just keeps giving you opportunities to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love helping people. It's so natural now. It's second to breathing, if you will.
Okay.
But you're right, because you're so busy helping others when you're going to help yourself. And
yeah, heal thyself, right?
Yeah. That is still a process that I'm still trying to figure out my doggone self.
One day at a time,
No doubt. So, okay. How is it being a career woman as well as being a parent? Is that a juggle in itself?
Now that my children are older, like I'm coming to the other side of that. But yeah, when they were younger, my oldest daughter, my biggest regret was, having her be a latchkey kid. I wasn't running my business then. I was in school, like I was pursuing my degree with no idea of what it would look like once I had it, but I was pursuing my degree. And so like my daughter was with a lot of other people but me. And when she got older, she said, you had me with great people. I loved your friends. I love my friends' moms and families, but there were many times I just wanted to be with you. And that was hard for me, and so when chasing that dream or that dollar can be overrated when you look at some of the things you neglected in the process. But I think if you able to just say, hey, listen, I'm sorry. Hey, listen, I wasn't there then, but I'm here now. Just it's always ways to recover. And I had to do it. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now. I had to do it. And so sometimes, unfortunately, there is a sacrificial lamb with stuff that we feel like we really need to pursue. Sometimes our calling comes with a sacrifice.
It's that balance between career and family. It's a very thin line.
Mm-hmm.
Because even while I was caregiving, I was still trying to establish an IT career, because I even tried to have an IT business. And because of word of mouth and people that knew me, I was able to sustain for a while. But as you know, with IT, it always changes.
Okay.
So after 4 years, a lot of the norms were no longer the norms.
Wow.
It's kind of dissipated. So I had to get back into the workforce.
So you're a caregiver, a dad, and a full-time worker.
Yeah. I had a business in 2009 to about 13. And then when the caregiving started increasing, I started doing everything out of the house just to make it convenient.
Yeah. How did you sustain during all that?
Definitely prayer.
Okay.
Prayer. My kids were still relatively young then. They were in the single digits when I started the business. Then as they got older, start having them grow up a little sooner than they cared to,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is a blur now that I kind of try to look at it, because, we did what we did to survive.
Yeah.
And it's not like we were making a whole bunch of money, because we were not.
Yep. And that's what we do. We do what we have to do to survive. And so survival is necessary, but thriving is like, thriving is, I don't know, it's more ideal. Like survival is just doing just enough to get by. But, when we do things to help us thrive, I think that helps us. That's where the quality of life comes in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I hear you. Well, I must say this has been a wonderful time catching up with you. I hope it doesn't take this big of a gap next time to hear from you, but please tell people again how they can find you, especially if they need help.
Sure. So the name of my practice is New Vision Behavioral Health. We are in Florida and in Texas. So if you're in any one of those states, you can look us up. Our website is www.newvision.behavioralhealth.org. newvisionbehavioralhealth.org. Or you could give us a call at 727-687-0997, or just Google New Vision Behavioral Health. There are a few out there, but they're not Inc. Yeah, and they're not me.
And that part. Okay. Well, again, thank you so much for your time. Everyone, thank you for hanging out with us. Just always make sure you subscribe to the Blast Music 247 YouTube channel. Any of our amazing podcasts that come on, you'll be alerted. But this one was a special treat to get to talk with my friend once again. And I will be bugging her that she brings us some more content soon.
I will be back. Guys, with more content, with more great people to interview and tell their stories, with just pushing you to just live well and live intentional, because that's what this podcast is about. Life is hard, but we are equipped to get through it and get through it well. Yeah, we are. We're equipped. We are equipped, Troy, to get through life.
We are. But most of all, learn to love one another. Always check on one another. And we thank you guys. We will talk to you soon. God bless and have a good day.
Bye-bye.